All right, 14 minutes before the hour now. Defense has rested on day 20. We will be back in court at 2:15 Eastern Time. Trey Gowdy was in court this morning. He joins us now. Trey, good morning to you. Been reading your emails. Quite colorful. Good job.
Hey.
Maybe you have a future as a reporter or a court reporter or something akin to that.
I wasn't a very good lawyer, so I have no future as a reporter.
That's actually funny. The Gnat mothball, that was pretty clever also. Go ahead, lay it out for our viewers. What did you hear? What did you see inside?
Costello, I thought, was a little bit better than he was yesterday. I think what he figured out is the substance of what he has to say is helpful for the defense. But when your demeanor is off-putting, that it impeaches, it undercuts what you have to say. Now, my final analysis, the star prosecution witness, Michael Cohen, is completely biased. I think the prosecution did a pretty good job of showing Costello has a little bit of bias as well. So the jury has to sort out, those are the only 12 opinions that matter. The jury has to sort out if you have competing biased witnesses, it's a draw, and draws go to the defendant. It's the government's job to prove each element beyond a reasonable doubt.
Okay, the other thing I'm wondering about, Trey, was just the demeanor of the jury. Once they found out that the defense had rested, you had a chance to maybe catch a glimpse, get a vibe. What was your sense?
You know what? I have been impressed with this jury. They are attentive even during the more tedious parts of the trial. I always focus on the jury because those are, Dana, as you well put it, those are the only 12 opinions that matter. Who sat in the same seat they did yesterday? That tells me something. Who moved around? Who sits by whom? They were extraordinarily attentive. The judge, initially this morning, I thought maybe the strike zone was going to be the same for both sides, and then it got really, really small for the defense, just like it was yesterday. I have heard plenty of judges say you must answer yes or no, and then you can explain. I have never seen a judge say you must answer yes or no, and you cannot explain. I've never saw it in almost 20 years in a courtroom.
Trey, help us out here. We've been listening to a lot of your analysis, and McCarthy and Turley. I think universally you believe this judge hasn't been fair. Do you stand by that, A? And B, why are we going to take an 8-day break for a long American Memorial Weekend before the jurors even get a chance to talk among themselves?
Yeah, I can tell you, if we were in South Carolina, we would be already beginning our closing arguments right now. I don't get the schedule up here to wait a week and expect people to remember what was said and whether or not you believed what was said. I think it's just not fair to the jury. In terms of whether or not the judge is fair, yesterday was my first exposure to him. I have appeared in front of what I thought were pro-prosecution judges before. I benefited from pro-prosecution judges. I just thought yesterday and then again today, his strike zone is completely different when the prosecution objects than when the defense objects. And I don't know him well enough. I'm not going to say that he is a biased judge. I will say that judges should be really careful to not even appear to have an interest in the outcome. He seems really upset with the defense and doesn't make much of an effort to disguise that.
Great, so stay right there, Trey. I don't know if they're coming to get you, but if they do, you can call Mark Eiglarsh, who is here sitting with us on set.
I'm going to self-report.
Yeah, in case you need to.
I'm going to report. I'm going to self-report.
All right, don't leave. Hang on, okay?
Mark, you have strong feelings about the defense making a decision to call Bob Costello to the stand. What are they?
Because a cherished principle that we all enjoy, not just Donald Trump, but every defendant, is that if they don't prove their case, you don't have to call anybody. And the disadvantage in calling Abbott and Costello is that the defense then looks like they have some type of burden when they do not. The state rested their case. No 12 people could all get their heads around the fact that they proved their case beyond a reasonable doubt. I'm still waiting to understand how it interfered with some election. That was not made clear. So you don't call any witnesses. You stand up. This is what I would do. And I immediately say, we rest as well, reminding them that they all gave their oath that they would not shift the burden to the defense, that they would find the defendant not guilty if the charges were unproven.
Maybe the jury finds it that way.
Maybe, but you don't know, and I will also defer to the defense lawyers because maybe they have their finger on the pulse of this jury.
Do you think the Costello testimony hurt the Trump team?
It didn't help. In other words, anytime you're going to take on a burden, and it's not their burden, but it looks like that to the jury. And they go, oh, you just called 1, 2 witnesses? Okay. Their case was much better. They were there for weeks, and you just called 2 witnesses?
But based on what Trey's saying, the judge didn't even let Costello finish an answer.
And that's foreseeable. What, this is the first time you're seeing a judge that might not call the strikes that you want? You knew that would happen. You knew Costello had baggage. Why do it?
Okay, Trey, can you answer that? And was it a mistake?
Yeah, well, yeah, Costello may have some baggage, but Michael Cohen's got more baggage than Delta Airlines. So at least be as tough on Michael Cohen as you were on the lawyer Bob Costello. I just, look, I don't care if the strike zone is high or low, Bill. You're a sports fan. Just give me the same strike zone, and I didn't see it the last 2 days. I will agree there is no responsibility for the defense to put up a case whatsoever, but if they do, the jury is going to judge them just like they do prosecution witnesses, and I think Costello had the potential to help the defense, but his demeanor was so off-putting it wound up not.
All right, Mark, do you fly Delta?
What? Do I fly Delta?
Trey just said he's got more baggage than Delta Airlines.
Yeah, he does, and it was reasonably foreseeable to the defense. You know that. Any generic witness, you know there's going to be vigorous cross-examination. Costello? We all knew his ego's not his amigo. He's going to get up there. He's going to battle with everybody. You don't call him. You don't go 1 step forward, 2 steps back.
Got it. Trey, thank you very much. Talk to you a bit later today. Mark, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you
My
both.
pleasure.
And we will be right back
y'all.
with more analysis as the defense rests. And we now wait 8 days for the jury to get together.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.